You were half the king Mufasa was.
I'm 10 times Mufasa was.
The Lion King is a timeless masterpiece that has left a mark on the hearts of millions. However, it also holds one of the greatest mysteries that has puzzled fans for years: the sudden disappearance of Sarabi in the second movie without any explanation. Today, we will attempt to uncover the truth behind this mysterious vanishing. In the first movie, Sarabi was the cornerstone of the Pride Rock Kingdom. She wasn't just Mufasa's wife and Simba's mother. She was the wise queen who balanced Mufasa's strength and young Simba's recklessness. After the tragic loss of Mufasa, it would have made sense for her role to become even more significant in guiding Simba through his grief and eventual rise to the throne. However, the shocking twist in the sequel was her complete disappearance from the story without a single mention or explanation. When analyzing the timeline of events, a glaring contradiction emerges. The Lion Guard, which takes place between the first and second movies, shows Sarabi alive and well. This means that her absence in the second movie does not align logically with the established continuity. This inconsistency raises many questions about the real reasons behind this strange decision. The first theory that comes to mind is that she might have died between the two movies. But how? If she had died of natural causes, it would be strange for such a major event to go unmentioned. A queen who ruled Pride Rock with wisdom and strength wouldn't just disappear without leaving a significant impact on the story. And if we assume she died of heartbreak over Mufasa, something that happens in nature, why wasn't this reflected in Simba's character development? This leads us to a more intriguing theory. Perhaps Sarabi didn't die naturally, but met a tragic fate. The hyenas, Scar's former allies, are the prime suspect. Maybe they killed her as an act of revenge or as part of a larger scheme. But the main question remains: why was such a crucial event not included in the story? Would it have drastically changed the course of events? Or did Disney deliberately avoid portraying this dark aspect in a film aimed at children? What makes this even more mysterious is the complete silence about her in the second movie. Simba never mentions her. She does not appear in any flashbacks, and it's as if she was erased from existence. This isn't just an oversight by the writer. It seems like a deliberate decision with deeper implication. When we look at Simba's character in the sequel, we see how rigid and strict he has become in his rule, unwilling to accept any opposing views. Isn't this exactly what Sarabi would have prevented had she been there? Could her absence be the reason behind his drastic change? From a storytelling perspective, the filmmakers had limited choices when developing the sequel's plot. Keeping Sarabi as a living character would have significantly altered the dynamics between Simba and Kiara. Perhaps the writers felt that her presence would lessen the dramatic conflict needed for the story, so they decided to remove her entirely. But wasn't this an easy and unjustified solution? Why not at least provide a simple explanation for her fate instead of making her disappear in such an odd way? Some fans propose an intriguing theory. Maybe Sarabi didn't disappear physically, but withdrew emotionally. She could have suffered a psychological breakdown after Mufasa's death, leading her to isolate herself from public life. But again, why was this never even hinted at? Even this theory lacks supporting evidence in the official movie script. In the film industry, we know that many deleted scenes never make it to the final cut for various reasons. Could there be a deleted scene explaining Sarabi's fate? Some sources suggest that Disney originally had a script containing an explanation for her disappearance, but ultimately removed it. Why? Was it because it would have taken the story in a different direction? Or did it reveal too much about the character's backstory, which the filmmakers wanted to keep ambiguous? Director Rob Minkoff has hinted in rare interviews that certain character decisions were made purely for dramatic reasons. However, he never explicitly clarified what happened to Sarabi. This official silence from Disney only deepens the mystery. Were they afraid that any explanation might disappoint fans? Or did they simply not see the need to include her in the new story? When we examine the impact of her disappearance on the overall story, we see that Sarabi's absence left a significant void in character interaction. In the first movie, she represented wisdom and balance, and the lack of this presence in the second film is quite apparent. Without her guidance, Simba became more rigid in his decisions, Nala lost her mentor, and Kiara lacked a figure who might have better understood her perspective. Was this the intended effect? Did her absence serve to make Simba more isolated in his judgment, creating the necessary dramatic tension? The key question remains: could Sarabi return in future projects? This seems highly unlikely, especially after all these years. Disney typically moves forward with its stories and rarely revisits sideline characters in this way. However, in the world of creativity, nothing is impossible. Maybe one day we'll finally get the official answer we've been waiting for. After all this in-depth analysis, one truth remains. Sarabi's unexplained disappearance is one of the greatest mysteries in the Lion King universe. Whether it was a deliberate artistic choice or simply an oversight in the writing, it left a noticeable gap in the story and raised countless questions about the fate of one of Pride Rock's most important figures. We may never get a definitive answer, but that won't stop us from continuing to wonder and speculate about what really happened to the Lost Queen. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think happened to Sarabi? Do you believe Disney made a mistake by ignoring her fate? Or do you think there was a valid reason for her disappearance? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with all the Lion King fans.